Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. But I just want to ask guys, hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. Now let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I hope everybody is having a great weekend. Today is officially Saturday, so I am expecting the market to be a little bit more volatile. Obviously, I don't like to trade the markets at all during the weekend, so it's more so a show and tell, if you will, for me. But as we are seeing the market, we've seen, Bitcoin come down today to about like 28.7K. I am still expecting a little bit more downside, potential to sweep the lows at 27.7K on Bitcoin. We'll most likely see XRP take a little bit of a deeper dive down. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing some green, but nothing too crazy. On the 7-day span, we are still seeing some altcoins up significantly like KNC, etc., but for the most part, yeah, we are bleeding today. And there has been a few altcoins taking a little bit deeper of a dive. But ultimately, I'm definitely looking at some positions that I'm interested in taking. But, I haven't really pulled the trigger on a few just yet. But I just want to ask, how are you guys doing? How is everybody feeling? We just hit, 9 last week in terms of extreme fear. I know it was at 8 here and there, but now we are currently sitting at 13. And I just want to ask, are you guys fearful? Are you guys scared? What's going on? To me, I haven't been more bullish now than ever before on crypto. I'm extremely excited about where this market is headed because I foresee the vision behind the ultimate path. So as we are seeing a lot more adoption happening for crypto, and as we do see a lot more steps being taken towards adopting in the new financial system, it really does solidify my position in this market as a long-term investor and even a short-term investor. And I'm just so excited to be a part of this journey, and I'm glad to have all of you individuals along with me being a part of this journey and watching the things unfold before our eyes. I'm sure that a lot of you also see this vision through. We just seen the International Monetary Fund chief is warning that global finance leaders should prepare for multiple inflationary shocks. It all starts with food and energy. The IMF's managing director, Kristalina Georgieva, said it is becoming harder for central banks to bring down inflation without causing recessions. And this is pretty significant. I want to honestly mention the fact that inflation is a major concern right now. It's a major concern globally. I actually just went grocery shopping just recently, and honestly, the prices of things are astronomically inflated. Gas, rent, even bills in general are extremely inflated. I would say things are getting pretty rough for the most part, and inflation is still out of control, and I don't foresee it having any sort of, downplay anytime soon, without, of course, the printer starting from the Fed, which will ultimately lead us to a recession no matter what. I think it's inevitable at this point in terms of a recession. Now, I also did, talk to you guys a little bit about how a CBDC essentially would fight inflation. Ultimately, this is just, the idea of targeting specific, areas. For example, if we do come down here, so let me pause this just so that we don't have that playing over there. But if we do come down here, we do see her perhaps a little overpassionately, this individual, which is the leadership candidate, Pierre Poilievre, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, I'll butcher it, has been criticizing both the high inflation undercurrent Bank of Canada policies and the idea of a CBDC, something he said he would outlaw if he were to eventually become prime minister. But what if, the latter could be the solution for the former? We don't yet know what precise form a CBDC could take, or even if such a currency would replace cash, exist alongside it, or displace current electronic forms of payments. Not even China, the frontrunner in the game, has done any large-scale testing. But we do see, in general, for inflation, to really combat that would be to focus on micro industries. And what I mean by that is if we do see down here, a central bank digital currency theoretically allows for micro targeting, perhaps by sector, perhaps by region, perhaps by socio-economic class as well. And we do see here with real-time feedback, and that could be invaluable the next time the economy needs stimulating, which is essentially right now. I mean, this could be very significant, especially if you are talking about, having something target a specific industry. And I think that that could definitely cause some, leeway in terms of inflation and help bring it down. But it's still the idea that I fear that with a central bank digital currency, still the central bank will be able to mint more tokens and ultimately inflate a token as well. So, with my opinion, I still think that CBDCs could definitely help, entirely change the path of inflation and most likely even help bring it down. But I think that we're still some time away from adopting a full-on CBDC. Now, we did see here Euro XM Banks. Graham Bright says Ripple won't take over Swift, but will use XRP for payments. Zero doubt retweet. Listen closely to this.
Here's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing SWIFT. So we did speak earlier where you mentioned that it's not necessarily about replacing SWIFT, it's about complementing it. So let's get some more information on this.
Okay. I used to work for Swift. I was Swift for 20 years, so Swift is flowing through my veins. Swift is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where Swift would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, the payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that Swift are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the Swift network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
And that's pretty significant. I mean, when we look at this, right, Swift is going all in crypto, and they have been tested at XRP successfully back in 2020. ISO 222 is on the way, and it's a game changer for the financial industry. That's essentially what he also said, as we are ushering in this new messaging format, it does unlock the potential of utilizing Ripple with XRP. Now, of course, right, we look at this, and this will essentially be all of the money bridged. And I do foresee us actually getting to that point. I've always said that everything will be interconnected. Everything will be bridged. All of the money will be bridged on these protocols because at the end of the day, it is far too good in terms of efficiencies to ignore. And you are not getting these efficiencies through anything else other than crypto technology. And RippleNet has been battle tested for over a decade. So at the end of the day, what is the best choice? Well, Ripple has already had 300 plus financial institutions utilizing its network. They have tested, they tried XRP as well. Honestly, at the end of the day, we know what the clear choice is. And also, this is also why I've said that in terms of the stage presence of the SEC lawsuit, this was all one massive show. I think that it was to usher in regulatory clarity around XRP and also even with crypto in general to adopt these financial systems into the legacy system. You got to remember that QNT as well allows for interoperability between the legacy and the digital systems, which I've been talking to you guys about for a very long time. Now also, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about Caitlin Long. So she is the founder and the CEO of Custodial Bank, which is basically a digital asset bank. Now, within this entire, viewpoint on what is going to be happening around instant payments, we just hear a new article about why USD collateralized stablecoins should be backed 100% by cash deposit at Fed. Even T-bills don't work because they settle next day. But last week, a stablecoin collapsed within hours. Need real-time liquidity only available at Fed. We actually do see down here, this is another, in a long collaboration with Dr. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but of the IMF news about financial sector plumbing. He has taught me so much over the past decade. Now, of course, we do see here, summary, DC policymakers are moving away from the view that stablecoins should be issued by, insured depository institutions or only by them. And we do see here that's good in my honest opinion because deposit insurance funds, should be insulated from crypto because settlement differences are too big, could trigger runs on banks at financial systems core. Policymakers are moving towards ring fencing the risk as they should, in my honest opinion. Next, back with T-bills or cash. We actually do see them talking about that right here in this little article. You guys could read that a little bit. You guys could pause the video. But we do see here, the credit risk in T-bills and cash on deposit at the Fed is equal, but, very different liquidity profile. T-bills settle the next day, which is too slow amid a stablecoin run. Plus, using T-bills creates collateral silos, exacerbating, periodic collateral shortages in wholesome funding markets. Article dives into plumbing. And this is basically me talking to you guys a little bit about the Fed Now service. To kind of skip away a little bit and not read too much, we do see down here, as the term structure of bank liability shrinks from days, ACH, and hours FedWire to just minutes, stablecoins plus soon FedNow, which is the focus point, banks will inherently need more intraday liquidity. There you guys have it. More intraday liquidity. Where are you going to get that from? This means the fine-tuning for a system-wide intraday liquidity will inherently need to change. It was fun to write this over the past few weeks and see how it fits into real-time market events and the evolution of DC policymaker conversations. Lots of learnings, lots of downside to getting policy wrong on this point. Enjoy. Guys, we do see here, banks argue that digital assets have similar settlement characteristics as other types of collateral, but they do not. They are different and must be acknowledged as such by policymakers. A Fed master account is the best source of liquidity for stablecoins, not the traditional collateral market. And I actually do argue the fact that it wouldn't be a Fed master account for liquidity. It would be something like, RippleNet with on-demand liquidity. I think that that's going to be the choice here. The reason why is because this is talking about the FedNow service. When we look at the FedNow service, we actually go over here that it's going to be happening in 2023. FedNow Instant Payment Services launch. This is going to be interesting because this is not only a major financial, network essentially, but we do see that this is going to be an account-to-account, receive instant payments 24/7, 365, and will be available to all depository institutions in the U.S. by 2023. This is interesting because at the end of the day, this is from Volante. And we do see down here that solution benefits all the features you need. You guys can see all the benefits here. Advanced instant payment technology, ISO 222, Fluent. We do see down here extensive to ACH, Wire, RTP, Swift, and other payment types. Works with all core systems. No upgrade needed. No upgrade needed. API plug and play. 300 plus APIs as well. Compatible with all channels. In my opinion, this is getting pretty interesting because I've said it multiple times that you got to look at the things happening behind the scenes. And with Volante has been a massive giant of ripples. Okay? We actually do see over here as well, going back to January 2021, Volante joins Federal Reserve's pilot program for FedNow instant payments. We have already seen that this has evolved into, again, a major launch of this in 2023. But we also seen going back as far as March of just this year alone, Volante Technology launches first unified service for FedNow and TCH RTP. Again, all focused on, instant payment schemes. I've always said that instant payment opportunity is a huge driver of success around a lot of adoption of these major use cases, specifically within crypto. But we actually do see down here, we serve as a trusted partner to over 100 banks, financial institutions, market infrastructures, clearinghouses, and corporate treasuries in 35 countries. We do see down here that, our solutions and services process millions of transactions and trillions in value every day. Trillions in value every day, powering 4 of the top 5 corporate banks, 40% of all U.S. commercial bank deposits, and 70% of worldwide card traffic. Volante is a massive giant. The funny thing is that they've already documented their use case with what will be the Ripple processing module. The Volpay Ripple processor module speeds integration to the Ripple Global Settlement Network. This is huge. We actually do see this end-to-end instant payment settlement network, essentially having Ripple at the core of this. Again, you know, liquidity is also going to be a key dynamic to this entire system, which is where I foresee XRP becoming that settlement token within on-demand liquidity as well. XRP will provide that on-demand liquidity and essentially settle these payments, especially if they are cross-border payments. This is where things get very interesting. Of course, yes, is it speculation? Sure, you could call it that. But in my opinion, there's too many signs that point to the end goal here. And that is all of the money will be bridged, and Ripple is a part of this entire journey. I am very excited for the future of not only this entire space, but XRP as a settlement token and bridge currency itself. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.